A question I often get is, how can I use social media proactively? What do I actually do? In fact, I do a lot of training on LinkedIn, and a lot of advisors will say, okay, great, but what do you actually do with this? You know, I pull it out, my phone out, and I pop up the app. What do I do here? Or I pull it up on my desktop. What do I do? There's a lot of different ways of approaching social media, and I really think that there is no such thing as a one-size-fits-all solution, right? We all have to connect it with what our specific business goals are, who our audience is, our market, what we're trying to communicate. But I think there's a few easy things that all professionals can do. And the first is the idea of just connecting with your network, making sure that the people that you're connected to in the offline world are online, so that you have that avenue for communication. The second goal is to start sharing content. And it can be as easy as a status update. It can be blogging. It can be sharing articles on LinkedIn Publisher. You know, it can be videos. It can be pictures. There's a lot of different content we can share. But all of this gives us the chance to really plant a flag. And what I mean by that is, because we're in a world with so much noise, there's so much information, when we can plant a flag and say, this is what I do, this is my business niche, right? These are the people I help, this is how I help them. We allow others to observe that and get it. One of the examples I often give is there's a television show, How I Met Your Mother. And there's a character named Barney on the show. And one of the things Barney was famous for was having a guy. He had a guy for everything. He had a suit guy, he had a tickets guy, he had a guy for getting guys, right? He had a guy. And what I really say to people is, these days, you want to be the guy in your niche for what you do. So that when people think about whatever service you provide, right, they're having a conversation, they're having a meeting somewhere, they're having a conversation in a Starbucks, somebody asks a question, right, that's relevant to what you do, you want the other person in that room to go, hey, I got a guy, right, or I got a gal, right, let's call them. And that's what social media does. It gives you a tool that was never available before, unless you had access to a newspaper, right, or a television station. You have the ability to do that, and it's huge. And right now, it's really underutilized. So if you can get in the space now, you're going to have a leg up on all of your competition. One of the questions I often get from financial professionals, and actually let me say, I actually get as an objection, is they go, well, my business is referral run, so I don't need social media. And I look at them, and part of me kind of chuckles inside, because social media is the next extension of the referral process. It used to be that the Rolodex we had on our desk was sacred, right? And when we went to meet with somebody, we were really hoping that we might be given access to that Rolodex. These days, I can go on your LinkedIn profile if we're connected and see all of your connections. So how do you actually use this on a tactical basis? I found the easiest way for financial professionals is, before you meet with somebody, you go through their LinkedIn network and you find, you know, usually about 7 to 10 people who you'd really like to be introduced to. That might be a good connection. And whenever you would normally ask for referrals, you simply say, hey, I know you're busy. I had a chance to look at your LinkedIn profile, and they should know that you looked at it already, because you've referenced information you found. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not creepy these days. But you say, I saw that you know so-and-so and so-and-so. I usually say 2, maybe 3. Don't get greedy yet. And say, I saw that you know Sue over here and Bill over here. I think they'd be really great people for me to talk to. Would you feel comfortable sending an introduction? Sometimes they'll say yes. Sometimes they'll say, go ahead and call them. You say, fantastic. It's okay if I use your name? Great. By the way, you'll notice that's very similar to probably what many experienced professionals have been doing for years. It doesn't shift. It just gets better. The other way to do that is, if you're, let's say, doing some research online and you're looking at one of your customers, one of your networking partners, somebody that you're already working with, one of your clients, and you see, hey, there's these 5 people that I would like to be introduced to. There's 2 ways of doing it. One is completely online. And you can actually do it, for example, if you're on LinkedIn, there's an introduction tool right in LinkedIn. Not everybody knows about it, so very few people use it, which is very powerful. When you're going to do a strictly electronic or digital communication, what I suggest saying to the person who is recommending you, I suggest going, hey, I'd love for you to introduce me to so-and-so. Here's why. So always have a because, right? And the because should be something more than, I just want to try to sell them something, right? Because that never works. But because I could provide value, because I've worked with a lot of people in a similar position as them, whatever it might be. The third thing you do is you give them something to say to that person. So, hey, if you could just send us an email, or if you just tell them I'm going to call, whatever it might be. And the fourth is to always give an out, right? And this is especially important, for example, on LinkedIn, because you don't know how well they're connected, right? They might just know each other, a little bit. So you say, and hey, if it's not the right time for you to introduce us, that's completely okay. What's really nice is it sets up the whole framework for that person, gives them an out, and you'll find that more often than not, people go, sure, and they send it along. The other thing is you can still go old school, right? Pick up the phone. Hey, Bill, how you doing? I was just giving you a call because, I'm seeing some new prospective clients right now. I was actually looking at your LinkedIn profile. Hey, by the way, congratulations on that promotion that you posted, right? You can give a little humanizing conversation there. I noticed that you know so-and-so. Would you feel comfortable introducing us, right? And then it's the same process. So don't complicate it, right? Most financial professionals have the tools already. It's just a matter of adapting them into this new format.